Hi everyone, I'm delighted to have Kevin with me today. We are going to be talking about what DevOps is as a career choice and his product Gearset. So Kevin, welcome. Thank you for joining me for these 5-minute quick videos. So tell us more about what is DevOps and why you set up Gearset.
Well, thanks very much for having me, Heather. DevOps is one of those terms. It's a bit nebulous. It means lots of different things to lots of different people. I guess if I start with a story about how I ended up doing what I'm doing, which is CEO of Gearset, where we build a DevOps platform for Salesforce teams. It started with the company I was working for previously became a Salesforce customer, and I'm a software engineer by background, and so I spent many years working in C#, .NET, Java. And Salesforce was new to me. I'm sort of a latecomer to the ecosystem, only started in sort of 2014 or 2015. And I was blown away by how productive Salesforce could be, just the ability to not worry about loads of the things that I had to worry about, the power of the platform, the power of flow and all of these things. But the thing that I was not amazed by was the ability to collaborate as a team, which is really what DevOps is about. DevOps is, it's a combination of cultural philosophies within your team, practices and ways of working, and then some tooling as well to support those processes and practices. But ultimately, it's about helping teams collaborate to get the thing that they're building out to their end users faster. So a lot of people think about it as tooling, and if you search DevOps on Google, you find lots of tooling and lots of here's how you do backup and here's how you do monitoring, here's how you do testing. But at its core, it's about getting folks to work together, and was born out of the agile software development movement. So that's what DevOps is to me. It's about how do you organize your team to build more quickly, to get the thing that you're building out to your stakeholders faster, and to involve everyone in that building and release. So not just the developers, not just the admins working in silos. How do we get everybody working together through a single process that has very predictable delivery? That's what DevOps should be about within your team.
Fascinating. It sounds like something that everybody needs to know, right, as part of their Salesforce job.
For sure. I guess Salesforce started out obviously as an application. There was very customizable application, but an application, and over the last 20 years has morphed into the leading enterprise platform as a service. So the complexity of what we're building on top of the platform and the size of the teams that are doing that building is just increasing day to day. When you've got complexity in a software development lifecycle, you're going to need processes, tooling to manage that, and that's DevOps. So it's an inevitable thing that's going to come to all Salesforce instances, because Salesforce instances are only getting more complex. If you're doing a great job, those teams are only going to get bigger. Your business is going to bet more and more on Salesforce. So that complexity is going to grow. You're going to need a way to manage that complexity, and that's a DevOps process.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so I hear that you've got a learning and training program with a certification that can help people understand what DevOps is in more detail. Can you tell us a bit more, Kevin?
Yeah, so we have DevOps LaunchPad. So you can go to DevOpsLaunchPad.com and get a bunch of courses on DevOps, what it is, how to get started. And it was really important for me to do this as a separate thing. So it's not gearset.com/university. It's not vendor specific. We do have some Gearset courses up there, but we call them out very specifically as Gearset courses. Most of the courses on there are just around, I guess, demystifying what can be an intimidating topic, helping folks to understand what DevOps is, where the benefits are for your team, and I guess a big bit of education around the fact that it's not tooling, it's not a single product. It's a way of thinking and a way of organizing your team, and has benefits for all teams.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Kevin. I think that's what's needed, right? It's kind of like we need to learn this stuff, and I'm not aware of another resource out there. So I think fantastic. Thank you for setting that up. And it's such an amazing, it's a free course. People can add that to their CV and their experience and their skills, and it's going to add value straight away for them. So I encourage anybody listening to go and check out the website and upskill in what DevOps is. But Kevin, just to bring it to life a little bit, can you tell us about Gearset as a product and what it does, so we can kind of really get in our heads, okay, well, how could this help me?
Sure. For those of you that have used chain sets before, you know all of the pains of using chain sets and some of the ways that they're difficult to collaborate. So things like understanding what you go on a chain set. So if I'm working in my sandbox and I'm trying to work out, hey, what have I changed and what's ready to be moved into production? That identifying what's changed is a difficult process. And if you're working together as a team, maybe you're starting to work in multiple sandboxes, understanding how to promote those changes from each individual sandbox that you're working in through staging UAT into production. It's just fraught with complexity using the native Salesforce tooling. So where Gearset comes in is to help understand what the changes are between different environments, build a predictable release delivery pipeline so that you can move changes from each environment onto the next when it's ready. And then Gearset, maybe uniquely through the other options out there, we have developed this maturity model where we can help you progress from sort of the change sets workflow that you might be using today through to adopting version control, through to adopting CI/CD. And at each stage, you're just sort of layering on the next process, the next set of tooling, without having to fundamentally change things. So it's very easy to get started with, and then very easy just incrementally mature in just when the time is right. Bring in version control, bring in CI/CD, bring in these more complex topics.
Fantastic. Okay, thanks, Kevin. Well, I'm sure everybody's looking forward to learning more. So thank you again for working with supermoms and educating people about what DevOps is. It's certainly a great skill to add to everybody's portfolio. So thanks so much for joining me, Kevin, today.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. And if anybody wants to reach out directly, I'm Kevin at Gearset or at Kev from Ireland on Twitter. I've spent the last 5-6 years thinking about nothing else. This is all I do, and I'm very happy to offer advice, coach anybody. If you want to reach out, please feel free to do it. I'd love to connect.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.